So let's go to Tartosa and rebuild a starter home. We're going to be going to Porto Luminoso, where one of my favorite builds lives. You can read that if you want, I guess. Anyway, we're going to be rebuilding Piccola, Luce. Piccola, Luce? I don't know. Anyway, it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom that's worth 19,991 simoleons, so it is a starter home. However, after I'm done with it, it is no longer a starter home, but I have no interest in making it a starter home, okay? I just want to redecorate it, redesign it, redo it. I don't know. Anyway, here's some information on Piccola Luce. I want to call it that. It says, this adorable home hides off Porto Luminoso's shore on tiny Piccola Luce Island. Its decor pulls from nature around it, the sea's cerulean waters and the coast's famous apricot sunset. There's no better home for a sim seeking solitude in a love-laced island. That sounds like my perfect temperature. I love this build. I don't know what it is about it, but I love it. This build makes me want a vacation home for me and my best friend. Personally, I really appreciate solitude and silence, and this place just, it looks so peaceful. I want to be here. I can't help it, but not when it looks like this. So upstairs we have a large empty bedroom. It's cute. Downstairs we have a blue bathroom and a huge living room, a very tiny kitchen, and a sad single bed that enters from the kitchen, giving the kitchen less room. Outside, there is a little seating area, and that's about it. That's the entire build. It's very plain. I understand with EA's restrictions, and it is a starter home, so it makes sense. Now I just want to look at things and see how things were done, just so I can see what I want to bring over to my build once I annihilate this. There's a sort of rush when I bulldoze a lot, because to me, there's no turning back. I have to do this. I mean, technically I could just exit without saving, but what's the fun in that? Also, I want to play. All right, so I'm diving right in. I'm building the shell of the house. Now, I did have to look up a few reference pictures on Pinterest, but for the most part, I'm trying to keep the essence of the original build. So I'm trying to keep that in mind, even with my references. There wasn't one that I particularly liked more than the other, so I incorporated a few, but the most important part is that it looks close to the original. I'm gonna keep that nice little lounge area in the upstairs and even that sort of wraparound porch to the pergola. I really loved that, but the square upstairs bedroom is now going to be turned into a study / guest apartment. I love that idea. Also, before I forget, if you guys like my intro and you're liking the video so far, don't forget to do your YouTube prayer in the name of the like, comment, and subscribe. Do any of the 3. Amen. I don't like asking for that, but I don't know. I'm having fun doing this, and I would like a little community. Enough selling myself out for validation. Let's continue talking about this build and whatever pops into my mind as I'm watching this. I don't know. Okay, feeling less awkward now. I was genuinely gonna try and use what came in my wedding stories pack. I tried, and then I did this because then I looked at custom content and said I want that instead. So it jumped ahead because I stopped recording when I just didn't like the windows, and it took me a while, okay? It took me a really long time to try to find windows that I like, okay? You happy? I said it. I added some stairs, and I really like these windows with the shutters. They don't feel quite as closed as glass windows. I'm assuming that it's just shutters and no glass. That's how I'm imagining it. Now, admittedly, I went heavy on the dark brown wood. I don't know why. It looks nice, the contrast of it. I liked it, but I think I might have gone just a little bit too heavy in this build, and if I did, just ignore it. Just know that I acknowledge that I did. I'm shading around the property just to make it look a little bit realistic, and this pathway, it changes a lot. So I get a little burst of energy whenever I bulldoze a lot because I know that the next couple of hours are going to be some of the most indecisive hours that I spend. I really don't build in a logical fashion. Sometimes I'll work outside, and if I get frustrated, I'll go inside. I'm sure plenty of people do it like this, but editing that down and trying to make a video and then also trying to make it cohesive enough for me to do a talk over on it, yeah, that's pretty hard. It's hard. So I struggle with what to say throughout these voiceovers because I'm moving in so many directions. When I start talking about something, it just bounces on to the next. So I'm putting some plants down, and this entire area changes. Like I said, I'm really indecisive, but essentially what I'm doing is I'm just feeling out the area. I want this area to be nice and green and have lots of plants, and it's probably their like nice little manicured pathway to the stairs. But I'm just essentially trying to figure out where things are gonna go, how they'll look best. Will they even be somewhat functional, and ultimately, do I think it looks good? That's the ultimate question. Do I think it looks good? And I do think that this build looks good, even though it's really, really brown and cream colored on the outside. And looking at it, I kind of wish I did add something more, but it's fine. I like it. So here I'm making one of the many lounge areas that are in this tiny little house. There's a lot of lounge areas, but oh my God. Can I take a minute to talk about those dried out palm leaves on the window? They are by Felix Andre from his CC pack Harlux. It's pretty new, and I went really heavy on that CC pack in this build. You'll see a lot of stuff from that collection. It's so freaking pretty. It's perfect. It was perfect. Now, for some privacy, I'm just gonna hang over some of these ivy leaves that just hang over, and they're huge. I do believe that this is a debug item. With that being said, I feel like I have to be pretty transparent in the fact that I rarely used any EA items except for like the stairs and the fence, and that's about it. Everything else is like debug or custom content. I know custom content isn't for everyone, and actually some of my favorite builders don't use any custom content. They're just really good at playing with what the game gives you. Me, however, not that creative. But with custom content, at least I'm able to get the look, you know, the essence of what I want. Moving on to the inside, this is my first attempt at the floor plan before I got frustrated and decided to move on outside and make the wall height tall. As I was looking at the floor plan, I also changed the windows here. Those are 2 windows and they glitch. So if you see any glitching, it's because it shouldn't be that way. So I made the wall height tall because originally I wanted some platforms and some variations in heights inside, but I ended up not doing that. Well, to be fair, you'll see me try, okay? But it doesn't stick, at least not on the first floor. Okay, so around this time, I think I had an idea of what I wanted the place to look like and what kind of made sense. I threw a bed back there just to make sure that I remembered that's the bedroom. I'm just laying down some floors. I really want ceramic floors in these particular areas and then wooden floor. Originally, it was gonna be ceramic floors throughout the house, but I just decided to keep it with the bathroom, the kitchen, and this little sunroom area. I think I changed my mind because the way that I see it is somebody came in here and they renovated the place a little bit to their liking. But I also imagine the sim that lives here is probably like a travel influencer and doesn't stay here that often. At least that was my original thinking when I was decorating. To make up for all that dark wood and that creamy color outside, I wanted to bring in color in the inside. So I went with this light sagey kind of green for the furniture, and I also brought in plants, because plants always liven up the place, especially when there's a lot of brown, lots of green. I love it. So as I mentioned earlier, the sim that I imagined living here is probably like a travel influencer. I don't know why I thought about that. I truly do not follow travel influencers, so I don't know what their content is about. I imagine they travel quite frequently, as a travel influencer would. So I imagine that their place might feel a little bit empty, but it's still lived in at the same time. So I tried to keep the clutter realistic to that. Now moving on to the kitchen, I'm gonna warn you, it's brown. I'm sorry, I can't escape it. Originally wanted to use this more, I guess, wine colored brown, but I scrapped it and decided to go for this dark brown and white. Like I said, this sim is a travel influencer. They chose the stock image for their kitchen. So that's what I did for them. I did use this refrigerator. Ooh, is it by Max 20? I'm not entirely sure, but it has this screen panel that looks like those Samsung refrigerators. It's a pretty basic kitchen. I did want to add a little bit of an island, maybe where they do some work and light reading and eat, most importantly, so I had to get rid of that armchair, adding some stools for a finishing touch, and then we have our living space, and I actually really enjoy how that looks. It's really small, so I would say that at most this person is single or has a partner, but definitely no children. This place is not made for children. I designed this house specifically not to house children because I want that solitude and silence aspect to be the loudest thing in that house. So when I imagine the sim that lives here, I imagine someone who's really social, but they live really far out. It might be hard for people to get to them. But I also think that they appreciate that and they like that. They're very selective with who they are social with. And that is why they have an upstairs guest apartment that also doubles as a study. That way, whenever one of their friends or someone that maybe they've even met through travel wants to visit, they can stay for a couple nights and it can be more of an intimate visit. That way the sim can entertain for as long as they want, especially in this small house that doesn't fit a lot of people, so you can't really have too many visitors. She can't really have a party. Alright, around here is where I tried to play with the platforms a little bit, and I wanted stairs around the house, but I didn't want stairs that went directly upstairs. I wanted the stairs to be around the side of the house like in the original build. So I tried playing with some foundations and I ended up scrapping all of this, but here you can see what I was imagining. All I really wanted was another lounge area where they can sit down, read some magazines, be able to look outside in the beautiful weather that they probably have every single day of their lives, and a map behind them as a conversation piece to where the sim has traveled. Such a fun room. And now we move on to the bathroom. I changed my mind quite a bit here. Anyway, I saw this hack. I don't know if it's functional or not, but someone put a shower up against the wall and then pushed the tub under the shower, and supposedly that is functional for the Sims. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I decided to lay it out this way where the shower is right next to the tub because I need a shower. I can't just have a tub in a house. I need a shower, but I also want a tub, but I don't like any of the like shower or tub combo in The Sims. I just don't like any of them. So I didn't really have a clear direction where I was going with the bathroom. The only thing I knew I wanted was for it to be like peaceful and relaxing. So the bathtub, that pink bathtub. Let me stop. I can't even look at it. It's gorgeous. This custom content is by Harry. It's from the Brutalist collection. I do believe that I mix up a few here. I'm not entirely sure of every single piece, but most of it I think is from the Brutalist collection. And it's just so peaceful. It's spa-like, but the pink color, it works so well with the house. It's warm toned, which I really, really love. It's just great. I love it. I loved the bathroom. It looked exactly how I think I wanted it to be. The sim that lives here doesn't miss a beat with their routine. They take care of themselves. They're all about self-care, that self-love. They cook for themselves. They take care of themselves. They like to feel luxurious in their body, and it shows in their bathroom. Alright, so now I'm gonna work on the bedroom, and the door had a couple of changes. I changed the platform originally because I wasn't thinking with my noggin, and I didn't think about raising the platform in the room to match the foundation level. Is it the foundation? Am I even using the correct terminology? But I didn't like the gap that was forming underneath the door, and I couldn't fit stairs there properly where the door is angled because apparently you can't angle stairs. So looking back, I could probably add the platform and add the stairs, but I was pretty disappointed. But I just wanted to move on, so I did. After 4 hours of building, I think I was pretty invested in the idea that whatever sim lived here, they most likely didn't spend a lot of time here. Like, yes, they would spend maybe a month or two here, but they traveled so frequently that they didn't have a lot of stuff. But a couple of hours later, as I continue thinking about the sim and I continue building, I thought, wait, no, this sim travels. So they most likely have a lot of stuff that they bring from their travels. So the bedroom isn't really quite decorated because at that time I was just thinking that the sim most likely didn't have a lot of stuff, which I disagree with. I tried spicing up the kitchen a little bit by adding not that much clutter, but enough clutter to make it look lived in. I think this is a couple of months that the sim actually lives here and they're not traveling. So they're cooking a lot and kind of hanging around in the home. So I tried to make the clutter reflect that. So after rearranging some of the clutter, adding some, and just, making it look a little bit more, like I said, lived in, I'm gonna add some curtains to this, a column, just to give a hint of privacy to this little sitting area back here. I think overall the decorating looks pretty mixed and boho-ish kind of, and I really like it. I can't wait to create a sim for this. And with that, it's time to move upstairs to our guest apartment / study, because there will be a desk here. You don't see it up until the end, but there will be a desk here. And also, I successfully used foundations. So I pretty much knew right from the beginning that I wanted this upstairs guest apartment to feel a little bit masculine. And I thought the perfect custom content for it was the stuff that you can find in Felix Andre's London custom pack, I think. I think it's London. I think that's where these leather couches are from. I love the look. It looks so masculine, but that doesn't mean that this was designed for a man. It's just that it deserves darkness. It deserves that dark night feel, you know what I mean? Dark walls, but yet so much light comes in because of all the windows. I love it. I love when rooms that get a lot of natural light are dark. I don't know why. If you get a lot of natural light, your walls need to be dark. For some reason, that combination right now feels masculine to me, so I'm gonna stick with it. But I do really love when there's a lot of windows and the walls are really dark. My room, for example, gets a lot of natural sunlight, and I just cannot wait to paint my walls like a darkish kind of purple. But then we get to the bathroom. I actually rage quit the bathroom. I wasn't liking it. I mean, it's not bad. It's just the walls, man. Why can't we have good tiled walls? Why can't there be an abundance of good tiled walls of varying heights? I don't know, but with my lack of variety, I wanted to move on. I don't know what kind of walls I wanted. The ones that I have, they weren't it. So I moved on outside. Outside, I just add a couple of plants here and there, a couple of trees. I'm just trying to reorganize and kind of figure out what I'm gonna do for the yard area. I didn't really have any plans for the outside. I knew what I wanted for the inside. Wasn't too sure about the outside. Oh, these little thingies that I'm putting here, they are by a creator called Pierre Sims. I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. But if you have any questions about anything that I'm using here, if anybody wants to know, just comment and I'll let you know. I don't know if I should do a custom contents list. How hard will that realistically be? I'll think about it. We're back upstairs, and I just want to add that the upstairs was created with a guest in mind. I wasn't really thinking about the sim that lives here anymore. I was just maybe thinking about things that the sim has maybe collected while traveling. So originally there was supposed to be a lot of trinkets and paintings and sculptures and just things that you collect while you're traveling. So I didn't want things that were too matchy. I wanted things to look really separate, and I tried separating that with a lot of patterns. So the rugs are really patterned. I mean, the walls aren't patterned, but there's a lot of pattern going on here, so it kind of breaks everything apart room by room. Each room is really different in the upstairs area, and I really like that. It looks eclectic. My favorite room is the room with the 2 leather seats. I love it. I consider it another lounge area, so that is 3 so far. But I love it. I really do imagine that whatever sim lives here, first of all, they need to have the high maintenance trait. That's first. Secondly, I think they would have a close-knit lifestyle. That's the sim that I'm imagining that lives here. Because this sim always gets at least 2 chairs. They like company. They don't like sitting down by themselves. I think they really enjoy having company and people over. Why they would choose an island that you have to drive out to and is secluded is beyond me. I think that the sim just probably travels so much that they just enjoy being alone every once in a while. That feeling fades and then they eventually want companionship again. I think that's totally fine. Everybody's up and down. Not everyone is fully introverted and not everyone is fully extroverted. So I think this sim is right in between. They like their solitude, they like being alone, but they also love being around other people. All right, we've made our way outdoors, and once again, I wanted the outdoors to have a sense of companionship. So there is going to be a nice little seating area out here. I don't know if I'm quite considering it another lounge area, but I'm not gonna say it, but it is. There's also things for gardening out here, and I put a cute little bike there. I really want the outside to kind of look like the sim that lives here actually likes being outdoors. Most of the times that I do a build, I don't focus that much on the outside area and how it looks because my sims spend the majority of their time inside, depending on their career or depending on the skills that they want to master. But whatever sim that I plop here, I want them to be outdoors. So they care about how their landscaping looks and they care about having things to do outside. This little area went through so many changes. This area is actually right outside of the bedroom window. So I wanted it to be really jungly almost, with a ton of plants and maybe a lot of flowers that smell good because the windows have those shutters and in my head there's no glass. So I think they would get that nice whiff of fresh flowers and plants from outdoors when they wake up first thing in the morning or when they open their windows. That would be heaven. And here I am changing out the pergola. I hope I'm saying that right. I've seen that you can say pergola. Which one is it, pergola or pergola? I like pergola. Right under the pergola, they're gonna have this nice sitting area. I'm gonna make it all matchy in a little bit, but it looks so cozy. I would love to sit by the fire and have some grilled vegetables or something. Oh, yes. With a glass of wine. Awesome. All right, enough daydreaming. I wanted to go into a little bit this little profile that I created for the sim that should be living in here. It doesn't mean that it's the sim that's going to live in there. So what I have so far is that the sim is most likely a high maintenance sim with a close-knit lifestyle. So they love spending time with other people and they're most likely going to have the outdoorsy lifestyle also because there is a lot for them to do outdoors. Since they like spending so much time outdoors, I think that whoever lives here is probably into photography as a skill. Maybe they'll take the bike ride around Tartosa and take photographs. That would be so cute. They also like gardening. They enjoy company, so they'll probably have like dinner parties and movie nights and just like nice cozy indoor events. They also like traveling. That was the main thing, that this sim likes to travel. So this is going to be a really well-rounded sim and I hope that the house reflects that. The sim that I'm designing this house for is quite complicated and quite intriguing, but this build is actually being used in my super rich, super villain scenario that I'm playing, and it's being used as a rental right now. But I think the sim that I have, she aspires to move to Tartosa, so I'm either going to purchase this house for her or she'll just move to Tartosa, but because of this build, she wants to move to Tartosa. Anyway, we have reached the end of the video. Don't forget to do your YouTube prayer in the name of the, what is it? Like, comment, and subscribe. Mwah! Amen. Thank you for watching.